In the heart of Hong Kong, where power and legacy are measured not just in billions, but in bloodlines, one name has ruled for generations: the Cheng family. Their empire stretches from glittering jewelry stores under Chow Tai Fook to towering skyscrapers built by New World development, shaping the city's skyline and defining its elite. Yet behind the wealth lies a struggle that money can't silence, a war for control, legacy, and respect. Once led by patriarch Henry Cheng, the empire now faces its greatest test as the new generation rises, and with it, an unexpected challenger emerges: Sonia Cheng, the woman many call Hong Kong's quiet revolution. Educated at Harvard, hardened on Wall Street, Sonia didn't inherit her success, she built it. When she took over the failing Rosewood Hotel group, few believed she could turn it around. But in less than a decade, she transformed it into one of the world's most prestigious luxury brands, outshining her male counterparts and defying every tradition that defined Hong Kong's old money dynasties. Now, as her brothers stumble and her father's empire trembles under market losses and leadership shifts, all eyes turn to her. Is Sonia Cheng the heir who will save the dynasty, or the woman who will rewrite how Hong Kong's billion-dollar empires are born, ruled, and remembered? Long before Sonia Cheng became the symbol of Hong Kong's new generation of leadership, her family had already written itself into the city's economic DNA. The Cheng dynasty began with Cheng Yu-tung, a man who rose from humble beginnings in Guangdong to become one of the most powerful tycoons in Asia. His empire started not with steel or oil, but with something far more intimate: jewelry. In 1929, Chow Tai Fook was founded in Guangzhou, eventually relocating to Hong Kong after the war. What began as a small gold and jade shop grew into a jewelry empire that became synonymous with wealth, weddings, and Chinese tradition. By the 1970s, Chow Tai Fook had become the gold standard of luxury in Greater China, trusted by millions and fueling the family's leap into real estate. That leap was led by Henry Cheng, Cheng Yu-tung's eldest son, who founded New World Development in 1970. Under Henry's leadership, the company reshaped Hong Kong's skyline with ambitious projects, from the New World Center in Tsim Sha Tsui to the Rosewood Hong Kong, a symbol of the family's fusion of legacy and modernity. As Hong Kong transitioned from a British colony to a global financial hub, the Cheng family adapted seamlessly, balancing relationships with Beijing while maintaining deep roots in local commerce. They weren't just building properties, they were building Hong Kong's identity. By the 1990s, the Chengs had joined the ranks of the city's four great families, alongside the Li, Kwok, and Li dynasties. Their wealth was measured in tens of billions, their influence spanning banks, casinos, hotels, and luxury retail. But behind the polished image of success, there was always an unspoken question: who would inherit this monumental empire? Henry Cheng had two sons and one daughter, and like many in Asia's patriarchal elite, the assumption was clear: one of the sons would lead. The eldest, Adrian Cheng, was charismatic, ambitious, and well-educated, seen as the natural heir to both Chow Tai Fook and New World Development. The younger, Brian Cheng, managed the family's investment arms, ensuring their holdings extended beyond Hong Kong into mainland China and the West. And then there was Sonia, often described by the media as the quiet one, the daughter who worked hard but stayed out of the headlines. Yet, while her brothers were molded for succession, Sonia was observing and preparing. The 2000s brought rapid change. As Hong Kong's property market fluctuated and China's economy exploded, the Cheng Empire faced a crossroads: adapt or fade. Henry Cheng's health began to waver, and internal pressure mounted as the empire expanded faster than it could be controlled. The next generation was ready to take charge, but not everyone agreed on what that meant. In a world where dynastic transitions could make or break billion-dollar legacies, Hong Kong's business elite watched closely. The Chengs had survived wars, economic crises, and political handovers. But succession, that was a battle even empires rarely won peacefully. And within that storm, one woman's quiet ascent would soon challenge the traditions of power her own family had built. Born in 1980, Sonia Cheng was never meant to be just another socialite in Hong Kong's glittering elite. Her lineage was impeccable: granddaughter of Cheng Yu-tung, daughter of Henry Cheng, heiress to one of Asia's richest families. But from a young age, Sonia rejected the idea of privilege without purpose. She attended the prestigious St. Paul's Co-Educational College, then left for the United States to study applied mathematics and economics at Harvard University. While her peers in Hong Kong were preparing to inherit family businesses, Sonia was learning the art of value creation on Wall Street. After graduation, she joined Morgan Stanley and later Warburg Pincus, diving into the world of global finance and private equity. Those years would shape her worldview, one driven by numbers, strategy, and merit, not family connections. Colleagues remembered her as focused and understated, the kind of analyst who listened more than she spoke, but whose conclusions often cut straight to the truth. She could have built an independent career in the US, far from her family's shadow. But in 2008, the call of home and duty brought her back to Hong Kong. That same year, the world was reeling from the global financial crisis. The hotel division, under New World Development, once a jewel in the Cheng Empire, was bleeding money. Many saw it as a lost cause, a luxury project without direction. When Henry Cheng asked his daughter to take charge of it, even insiders whispered that it was more of a symbolic gesture than a serious appointment. A young woman in her 20s running a failing hotel group? One Hong Kong commentator scoffed. It'll be gone in a year. But Sonia had a different vision. She saw opportunity where others saw decay. Rather than copy Western models, she believed the next wave of luxury would come from Asian sophistication fused with global sensibility. Within months, she restructured management, redefined the brand, and launched an audacious plan to transform Rosewood Hotels and Resorts, then a struggling brand the family had recently acquired for $800 million, into a world-class name. Her leadership style was quiet but relentless. She was known for walking the corridors of hotels late at night, inspecting every detail, from the scent in the lobby to the alignment of wine glasses in the bar. Her mantra was simple: luxury is personal. Under her, Rosewood's new slogan, "A sense of place," became more than marketing. It was philosophy. Each hotel had to reflect its city's soul, whether it was Rosewood London, Rosewood Beijing, or Rosewood Hong Kong, the latter becoming an architectural symbol of refinement when it opened in 2019. By the mid-2010s, Sonia Cheng was no longer just the daughter of Henry Cheng. She was being profiled in Forbes, Fortune, and Time, celebrated as one of the top 100 most powerful women in business. The woman once dismissed as a figurehead had turned around a failing brand, growing it into a multi-billion-dollar luxury network spanning 30 cities. But success has its price. And in Hong Kong's old dynasties, power never shifts quietly. As Sonia's star rose, her brothers' paths grew uncertain, and whispers of rivalry began circulating in the corridors of the family empire. The question was no longer whether Sonia Cheng could run a hotel, it was whether she could lead a kingdom. By the time Sonia Cheng turned 40, her transformation from heiress to executive powerhouse had become one of Hong Kong's most compelling stories. In an industry dominated by men twice her age, she had not only survived but reshaped what leadership in Asia's luxury sector could look like. Under her command, Rosewood Hotel Group became a benchmark for modern elegance, blending architectural innovation with cultural depth. The once failing brand now stood shoulder to shoulder with giants like Four Seasons and Mandarin Oriental, yet with an identity that felt uniquely her own. Her secret was control, quiet, methodical, and absolute. Sonia was known for her obsession with details. She reviewed design blueprints herself, interviewed chefs personally, and approved everything from the scent of a room to the playlist in the lobby. "Every experience must feel human," she once said in an interview, her tone calm but unwavering. Luxury isn't about marble, it's about memory. And that philosophy resonated deeply in a market saturated with excess. Rosewood Hotels became sanctuaries of understated power, attracting everyone from Hollywood celebrities to Asian royals. Behind the polished success, though, tensions inside the Cheng family empire were beginning to surface. As New World development expanded aggressively into mainland China, cracks appeared in its foundations. The company was over-leveraged, its profits strained by real estate cycles and political uncertainty. Meanwhile, Adrian Cheng, once hailed as the family's golden heir, faced mounting scrutiny. His art meets commerce projects, like K11 Musea, were admired for creativity but criticized for inconsistent returns. Investors began to whisper that the dynasty's future might rest not on the visionary son, but on the disciplined daughter. By 2024, the unthinkable happened. New World Development reported its first annual loss in over 2 decades, nearly $20 billion. Stocks tumbled, confidence eroded, and the family's reputation, built over half a century, was suddenly in question. As CEO Adrian Cheng stepped down, the media swirled with speculation. Would his sister step in? Could Sonia Cheng, the hotel queen, rescue the family's empire of glass and steel? Publicly, Sonia remained silent. Privately, insiders said she was already being groomed for a greater role. Her inclusion in the nomination committee of New World Development, a small but powerful circle that decides top-level appointments, signaled what many had suspected. The next generation's leadership might no longer be decided by birth order, but by results. For Hong Kong, it was a symbolic shift, a woman rising in a city still bound by patriarchal norms. For the Chengs, it was a revolution. Henry Cheng, now in his late 70s and still one of Hong Kong's richest men with an estimated fortune of $172 billion, had always emphasized family unity over hierarchy, but even he couldn't ignore the balance of competence tilting in his daughter's favor. And yet, the Cheng Empire wasn't built on love alone. It was held together by image, alliances, and the delicate choreography of control. Sonia knew that every step she took, every speech, every expansion, every partnership, would be dissected not only by investors, but by her own blood. To rise in Hong Kong's most powerful family meant walking a tightrope where one misstep could cost not just reputation, but legacy. Now, as the city's skyline reflects the towers her family built, Sonia Cheng stands at a crossroads between filial loyalty and the call of destiny. The empire that once defined Hong Kong's success is faltering, and the woman who revived Rosewood may be its last hope. The Cheng family had always projected an image of harmony, elegant press photos, carefully worded statements, and appearances at charity galas meant to portray unity and grace. But beneath that polished facade, the pressure of managing a trillion-dollar web of businesses had begun to erode the foundation. The old model of dynastic power, one patriarch, one heir, and a seamless handover was no longer possible in a family where every child carried both ambition and entitlement. When Adrian Cheng stepped down from his executive roles in New World Development in late 2024, it sent shockwaves through Hong Kong's financial world. Officially, the move was described as a strategic reorganization. Unofficially, it was seen as a quiet acknowledgement of failure. The company's first annual loss in 2 decades, its declining stock value, and growing debt had left investors anxious and the family's credibility shaken. Yet, what truly caught attention was not Adrian's retreat. It was who quietly moved closer to the center: Sonia Cheng. While her brother's flamboyant ventures had drawn criticism for prioritizing art over profit, Sonia had done the opposite. Her empire, Rosewood, New World Hotels, and a network of hospitality brands had turned profitable and globally respected. In boardrooms, the comparison was unavoidable. "She doesn't just represent the new generation," one industry insider said. "She represents competence." The family's internal politics, however, were far more complex. Henry Cheng, still the patriarch, found himself torn between loyalty to his sons and admiration for his daughter's results. Rumors circulated that Sonia was being considered for a broader leadership role within the group, perhaps even a future chairwoman. But that possibility threatened to upset the family hierarchy and Hong Kong's traditional expectations of succession. Her younger brother, Brian Cheng, managed the family's investment arms and maintained a quieter presence, but insiders described increasing tension behind closed doors. The brothers, both educated overseas, had grown up with privilege. Sonia, despite sharing the same background, had earned her reputation the hard way, through performance, not proximity. The contrast became the axis of a brewing family divide: those who inherited power and the one who earned it. The turning point came when New World Development announced sweeping leadership changes. Sonia was appointed to the nomination committee, a move symbolically placing her among those who could decide the company's future direction. It was a subtle yet powerful signal. She was no longer just the hotel CEO, but a voice in the empire's command structure. For Hong Kong's media, this was the headline moment: the daughter stepping into the patriarch's domain. But power transitions in dynasties rarely come without casualties. Some long-serving executives loyal to Adrian began quietly departing. Others shifted allegiance, sensing the wind changing direction. The Chow Tai Fook Jewelry Group, still the crown jewel of the family's holdings, remained stable but cautious, waiting to see whether the next chapter would be written in unity or fracture. Through it all, Sonia maintained her silence, letting results speak. Her allies described her as strategic, measured, and impossible to intimidate. She understood that every public move could shift not just market perception, but family dynamics. And as investors watched, it became clear that Hong Kong's richest feud wasn't just about control, it was about evolution. Could a woman redefine the succession playbook in a dynasty built by men? Or would tradition, pride, and politics bury her rise before it even began? As the New World Empire wavered between tradition and transformation, Sonia Cheng found herself in a position few women in Asia's old money dynasties had ever reached. Not merely an heiress, but a contender. The losses suffered by New World Development had exposed structural weaknesses long hidden by decades of expansion. For years, the company had relied on the city's relentless property boom, but post-pandemic Hong Kong was a different world. Rising interest rates, a cooling real estate market, and growing political tension with Beijing had all but suffocated investor confidence. Even the once mighty Chow Tai Fook felt the chill, facing changing consumer habits and younger generations less attached to traditional symbols of wealth. Yet amid the turbulence, Sonia's leadership style stood out. While her brothers and other male heirs of Hong Kong's elite fought to preserve their empires through aggressive expansion, Sonia chose a different strategy: consolidation through innovation. She saw the future not in skyscrapers or speculative land deals, but in experiential luxury, sustainability, and global branding. Her conviction was that Hong Kong's next growth story would be cultural, not industrial. Under her direction, Rosewood Hotel Group expanded into Paris, Shanghai, and Mexico City, with each location designed to tell a story rooted in heritage but executed with modern precision. Behind the scenes, she also began restructuring the Cheng's hospitality and investment portfolios. Insiders noted that Sonia was working quietly with new financial advisors, focusing on stabilizing debt and improving profitability across subsidiaries. While she never confirmed ambitions to lead New World development, her moves painted a clear picture. She was preparing for the possibility. "She's not chasing titles," one former executive said. "She's building leverage." Public sentiment reflected that shift. To many in Hong Kong's younger generation, Sonia Cheng symbolized what the city itself was struggling to rediscover: competence without arrogance, tradition without stagnation. Her ability to navigate between global standards and Asian values made her a natural bridge between eras. Business magazines hailed her as the future face of Hong Kong capitalism, while social commentators pointed to her as proof that dynasties didn't need to die. They just needed to evolve. But for all her quiet victories, Sonia's path remained uncertain. Her father, Henry Cheng, now approaching 80, still held ultimate authority. Whether he would formally designate his daughter as successor was a question no one dared to ask publicly. To name her would make history. To ignore her would risk the family's stability. And so, the dynasty's fate hung in silence, balanced between old loyalties and a changing world. In the meantime, Sonia kept working. Her days were consumed by strategy meetings, expansion plans, and a delicate dance of diplomacy between boardrooms, investors, and family. Those close to her say she understands the game better than anyone else. Patience is her weapon, silence her shield. In Hong Kong's empire of wealth, where every headline could shake markets, Sonia Cheng had mastered the art of saying nothing and changing everything. Now, as the city watches its once unshakable dynasties falter, Sonia represents a rare kind of hope, not rebellion, but reinvention. She has already proven she can turn loss into legacy and failure into a new foundation. Whether she will inherit the title or not may soon matter less than the truth she's already written in action, that Hong Kong's most enduring power is not in the hands of the sons who inherited it, but the daughter who refused to wait. In a city once defined by its tycoons, men like Li Ka-shing, Stanley Ho, and Henry Cheng, the rise of Sonia Cheng marks the beginning of a quiet revolution. Her story isn't about inheritance, it's about reinvention. She took a declining hotel chain and turned it into one of the most admired brands in global luxury. She entered boardrooms where few women had ever been invited and reshaped the narrative from within. And now, as her family's empire stands at a crossroads, Sonia has become more than an executive. She's a symbol of resilience in a fading dynasty. The Chengs, once a pillar of Hong Kong's golden era, now face a choice between holding on to legacy or embracing change. Sonia's ascent doesn't erase the turmoil, the power struggles, the generational divides, or the market forces threatening to dismantle what her father built. But it does offer a glimpse of what Hong Kong's next chapter might look like: pragmatic, globally minded, and unafraid to challenge tradition. As the sun sets on the city's old guard, the question remains: will Sonia Cheng become the leader who saves Hong Kong's last great family empire, or the woman who rewrote its ending? Either way, her legacy is already taking shape, one built not on inherited wealth, but on earned respect.